are ready to go. This game 7 is underway as the snapshots are taken to start the game. St. Louis along the near side could not play it. Richards, St. Louis. Kubina will dump that one back into the line. St. Louis was charging. Richards had a chance. That comes back to the near side point. And there is the first opportunity, and it was Tampa Bay's. Into the Jerome Iginla. Iginla drops it. Conroy. That shot blocked. So Kubina got it, and here we go again.
Who else? Pavel Kubina.
He's the shot blocker.
Human blocking machine.
Unbelievable. He did this in the last game at least a half dozen times.
And gents, when we talked to his coach, John Tortorella, before the game, he said he makes mistakes and he does crazy things out there. But he has always tried to make a difference, and that's what John Tortorella respects about Pavel Kubina. The difference in this series has come in shot blocking.
Tortorella has a picture in his office of Kubina standing over top of Jaromir Jagr, then playing with Washington. This team here, Tampa Bay, knocked Washington out of the playoffs, and Kubina stopped Jaromir Jagr, the great goal scorer.
Sean Donovan is not playing tonight. He is a scratch as he was in the last game. He tried the pregame skate, could not make it. So he's not in. But Robin Regehr is in after Daryl Sutter, his coach for 2 days, said he's probably not going to play. So Regehr, their big defenseman, right there on the ice, is in the zone. Brought back in. Lecavalier dropped it off. It'll be whistled on the offside.
Regehr had a plastic walking cast on his left foot.
Playing injured, and there's a difference.
Yep. He can play. It's not going to do any more damage. Bounce back up in the air. Andreychuk got a piece of it, knocked away to Boyle. For both of these teams, their first chance in a Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals. We got a delayed call. Gary Fraser's got his arm up, away from the play. Kaprizov on the cover. Gary Fraser, the referee, way over, gets a slashing call here.
And he was pointing
to Dave Andreychuk.
Yeah. No,
Marcus
Calgary
Nelson.
penalty, yeah.
Wow.
Number 26, Calgary, 2-man slashing.
This is not what the Flames want.
Tampa's coming off a game where they scored 2 power play goals. Their power play has gotten hot with scoring big goals.
Series has been the winner of the game. A series where everybody who scored first has come away with the wins in the first 6 games of this series. And here is this power play that has been red hot. They are 6 out of 29 in this series. They have been led on the power play this playoff year by Richards, who has scored 7. The interception by Yell, shorthanded. Yell moves it in. Yell stripped of the puck, dumped back into the corner where he picks it up again. Richards back to get it. Doubled up on the forecheck, Calgary.
That was a sloppy Lecavalier turnover for Yell to take the puck with his hand, knock it down, and knock 20 seconds off the power play.
Lecavalier moves it in, dumps it back into the middle. The power play is underway here. Modine dropped it back into the corner. St. Louis up for Lecavalier. Lecavalier leaves it deep. St. Louis back there. St. Louis pushes his man away. Lecavalier, they were right together. Kubina drops it to the wide side. Into the middle. Lecavalier! Blocked into the corner. That one hit off the heel of the stick. It'll be cleared out of the zone.
Guys, I don't think Lecavalier's been right since he was hit into the glass by Nieminen and had the 10-stitch cut to the side of his head. He's making plays that he normally does not make.
Even though this morning he told you that he is okay.
Said he was fine, but I don't believe him.
They let it go back to the point, and Richards cannot stop it. Khabibulin almost fell coming out of the net. And will there be a penalty here on Khabibulin? He shot it up into the bench.
Gary, yeah, went into the bench. If it's over the glass, it's a 2-minute penalty for delay. Into the bench, it's allowed to happen by the goaltender.
He got out of the gate, though, with a stumble. You're right,
yes,
Gary.
He did. He almost
out of
fell
the
down.
gate. And Jerome Iginla had a full throttle thing going, racing for the puck.
What do you guys think about Lecavalier? I mean, he missed that beautiful pass. He already flipped the puck. Maybe he's nervous, but I don't think he's 100% after having his head banged.
And the numbers support that, too.
Well, whether he's 100 or not, he hasn't been a factor, and he hasn't played his best hockey in the last 3 games. That we know.
Stillman moved that one in. Power play's got 20 seconds left to go on it. Corey Stillman moves it back on top of the door. Shot deflected wide up Fedosenkov. Fedosenkov taken down behind the net. It'll be cleared around the boards. Good chance down low. Fedotenko, rather, who had the opportunity. That one batted away at center, and it'll be moved up, and that should do it. Kovacic got it up the length of the ice. No shots on their first power play chance. 0 for 1, and it stays scoreless. Boyle started up ice. He gets turned by Nielsen.
He's skating
Turned
with the
again.
puck. Remember, John Tortorella told us right before the game, Dan Boyle is one of the keys to us winning the Stanley Cup, although he wouldn't mention the Stanley Cup in those terms. But he said Boyle has to express himself offensively. How does he do that? Skating with the puck.
Yep, got to do it. If you see him as he was there, getting blocked into the zone. Kovacic moves it back in. Tied up. Montador could not get it on the far side. He held it in. Montador dumps it wide of the net. Right now, Calgary's got the early advantage in this game momentum-wise, even though that first power play went to Tampa Bay. Seabach getting to stay in. Seabach, Clymer have played very well together on this line with Dingman. So they're getting a chance here. Habibul had knocked it away. Cleared back up for Dingman, 2-5.
I think Tampa looks a little nervous.
Yes.
They have not made the real crisp plays you'd like to see a team make. But remember, they're a very young team, too.
Taken back into the zone. Iginla takes his man down. And no call. Flip back out of the zone. Jarome Iginla put the one arm on, and generally that's enough to get a call, but there was none there. Calgary has won 10 games on the road. They are 10-3 this playoff year. They have tied a record in road wins already. They win the Stanley Cup, they'll set a mark in road wins in a playoff year. Habibul and Nieminen moving in.
Now with Calgary, guys, as Nieminen, the little scrappy forward, mixes it up. Calgary had Al McNeil, a former NHL player and coach who's with the Flames, and a winner of 4 Stanley Cups. Last night met with the players, and he gave them a passionate speech about what the Stanley Cup championship type of thing means. With all the coaches and players there, I guess it was very, very passionate from what the players were telling me.
Only as we remind you, winning on the road so tough. Only 2 teams have done it in a Game 7 situation, this being the 13th Game 7. That one cleared back out to center. Played by Leopold, bounces it off the wall. Taylor will tip it away. Back into the zone, Corey Sarge teamed up with Pratt. Off the near side dasher. Regier able to bounce it away to center. Nieminen on the left. Zafrikin dumps it in. Zafrikin has had a tremendous last 2 games. Number 19 in white. Flipped up by Andrechuk and out of the zone.
How about his dozen shots on goal in the last 2 games? More than anybody.
So he over-prepared, is that it? Over-prepared,
well,
huh?
he thought about the end instead about the means and the way to get there.
Yeah.
It's Tampa Bay on the face-off win. It comes to Kavina. Dump back into the middle, into the zone. Tampa Bay keeping the heat on. St. Louis had moved up. Wrapped around. Andrew Ference couldn't get it out of there. Modin's in behind the net. Modin's been cold for a while, yet has had a very good playoff year. Modin brings it all the way out back to Brad Richards. Richards dumped it off, tried to get it off the side of the net, came all the way behind it. Modin to Kubina. Kubina had to knock it down. Back in behind the net, St. Louis. Richards out there in front of the net. Cleared back around. Kubina again stepping up. This is what Calgary will try and take advantage of. Iginla jumped out the center.
That's a great shift, Gary, because they kept the puck in Calgary's zone when Iginla's on the ice. But Iginla will stay on the ice for long shifts.
There he is right there. Jarome Iginla in. Shot blocked again. Played back St. Louis. Got it up into the middle for Lecavalier. Could not get it. If you're wondering who blocked that shot, rewind the tape. 13 Kubina.
Good guess.
Yeah. Fedotenko had it on the wall and lost it. Cleared back out. Iginla will now head off the ice after that pass. Shot again blocked into the middle. Blocked to the near side. Stillman able to get it. Barry Stillman takes it back in behind the net. We still do not have a shot. We have played almost 7 minutes of the first period. Bill McCurry, Kerry Fraser, the 2 veteran officials working this game 7. That one came to the slot. Stillman got it. Stillman looking off the near side. A little room. Straight down the middle. Fedotenko. Keprasov reached out to get it.
Fans are booing, but he dove for the puck.
Right.
Made a good play. Keprasov. These 2 goaltenders have just match saves in this series. That may have been the first shot of the game right there, and it was 8 minutes into the first period.
And Fedotenko looks like he's been cut up above the right eyebrow. But watch him here. The puck will slide through and he'll dive. And there he may have been clipped, Bill, as he went down on top of the stick. Watch his head.
Andrew Ference here, right?
No.
When did he get hit?
Well, got to work on that.
Notice how his cheek below that is healed. Remember early in the series when he got slammed into the boards, his cheek was hanging wide open.
He looks good.
Yes, he does.
Fedosenkov sends it in. Lidman got a piece of him. There's a Fedosenkov on the near side still there. Lidman moved over. Bump put on. Bump shot. Kubina deflected in front. Dave Andrechuk taken down by Matador as he tried to get the shot off. So we do have 1 shot on the board, even though they counted one that really rolled in and almost wasn't a shot. Deflected into the corner. Jelena went right by that one. Regier stepping up on the near side, able to hold it in. Martin Jelena drops it. They look to the front of the net. Iginla's out there. Iginla, Jelena, Conroy on this line for Calgary. That's Iginla spinning, turning. Iginla. John Tortorella said he wants to put on a show tonight, and we know it. Shot. That one gloved by Javi Bullen.
You see how, well, they haven't listened well because that's the first time they've done it here. Kubina's blocked 3 shots himself.
Regehr gets it off the draw. That one is whistled in wide. Yell was going for it. Comes to the near side boards on that last shot. Jelena again was in the net. Simon intercepted and a save made off the chance. Face-off will be won by Calgary. Kovacic going around the net. Boyle trying to get a piece. Kovacic turns right into Boyle. Pins him up against the wall. Off the near side, Nielsen takes the hit. Nielsen and Cullimore. Cullimore swept it out. Afanasenkov picks it up. Taylor's on the left side with him. Tampa Bay will change, so only 2 back for Tampa Bay in the zone. Great job to control it in the corner. Regehr ties him up. Moved up the wall and out.
No, one guy that looks like he's got a ton of energy, and that's little Chuck Kovacic.
He is moving out there. Taylor tips it in. There are 4 players who have played in a Stanley Cup final Game 7 before on this ice tonight. Chris Dingman, Billy Niemanen, and Stefan Yell, and Martin Jelena. Back to get it Sarich. Everybody overskated it. Finally, a touch-up for the icing. Martin Jelena played for Vancouver against the Rangers in '94 in a Game 7 in the finals.
It's his 4th trip to the Stanley Cup Finals. His first trip in 1990 when he was just a teenager is the only Stanley Cup that he's won. Because he did not win with Vancouver, and he went in 2002 with Carolina, but he's back here.
Stanley Cup winners, there are a number of those on the ice tonight looking to do it again, especially for the Calgary team. Cleared up the near side single. We held it into Kubina. Kubina dumps it. Modine. Conroy reached in and took it away. Our exclusive coverage of this Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals. The Stanley Cup is in the house. It will be awarded to one of these 2 teams, and their names will be etched on the cup forever in history. And for the players today, there's one thing you heard from both sides, and they were all asked the same question. What does it mean to you to have a chance to get your name on the cup? And they all said the fact it's there forever. One of them said, my grandkids will go to the Hall of Fame. Turned right through the middle, and they'll look, and there will be my name. Shot deflected high off the glass. Andrew Ference had the chance. High flip. Richards already down ice into the zone. He didn't want to touch that one up. Would have been a good liner.
This line with Richards, St. Louis, and Modine, they have 9 of the 11 goals scored by Tampa Bay in this series.
They are out there together. Into the corner. Clark. Pratt. Pratt turns it. Tried to turn it back in behind the net. Brett Dars get it back there. Corey Sarge comes back to get it.
Chris Clark with no glove on his left hand. He's got to be careful of that.
And they get slashed on that one. Lecavalier's on the near side with a puck. Lecavalier trying to turn it in. Edmund would not let him get through. Lecavalier bumped into the boards on a second time. Zafrican with it. Zafrican drops it off. Quick line out there for Calgary. Great check. Corey Sarge. Kovacic trying to get by him, and he stood him up. Lecavalier will bring it. In the middle of a line change. Stillman dumped that one in. The corner couldn't handle. Leopold will turn it up ice for the Flames. Boyle there to get it. Boyle off the wall. Would have been onside. Zafrican's got it on the out. 3-on-3. Trying to send it in. Niemanen knocked it down. Couldn't control it.
All right, Calgary's failed twice to get the puck deep, and look at Tampa come right back at him.
This is that 3rd line. Clymer, Seabach, and Dingman. A 4th line, rather. Dump back in behind. Watch the way they played. They might be the 3rd line. Clymer's got it in the corner. Kicked it away. Clymer coming to the front. Shot it through the paint, but not on net. Near side boards, Niemanen. Pretty good shot put on Boyle. In the middle, Dingman trying to move around. Got taken down, and a penalty coming, and a trip to Zafrican.
Now the 4th liners, you said, Gary, maybe you're right. The 3rd line drew the power play for Tampa Bay.
Their 2nd power play of this Game 7. For Lord Stanley's Hardware to be awarded here tonight. Ference dumped it around the boards. Boyle's got it. Tampa Bay on the power play in their dark-home uniforms. Richard in the middle, shot. Locked into the corner, deflected. And that'll be cleared out of the zone. Boyle with a big shot.
A straight shot. Dan Boyle tested his stick. I'm not sure it was deflected, but he ripped it about 10 feet wide.
It wasn't even close.
Well, you know what? Managing your emotions is the big key out here, and that means how hard you grip the stick, too.
Anderchuk bringing it into the zone. Great control with it over to Richards. Lecavalier's with him. Shot wide. Anderchuk couldn't get the rebound. Yells on him. Anderchuk picks it up. Looking. Goes back out onto the point. Richards on the near side. Trying to get Richards away while Anderchuk sets up in front. Shot again. Anderchuk covered by Kaprizov.
Bill, you just mentioned
Of anybody in the series has managed his emotions better than anybody.
There he is. Brad Richards backhands it into the middle. Cleared up but not out. Shot Kubina. That one gets blocked. A little Kubina on Kubina. It was Leopold who put the body down on the ice.
after he gave it away.
Yes.
Giveth and taketh.
We're going to start calling a shot block a Kubina.
A Kubina.
We're going to give a player a Kubina.
Going to get a whole new name. We'll make an award up for it. Have it done with some ice sculpture. Stillman on the near side. Still a power play. Tampa Bay. Got 44 seconds left to go on it. The shots are 3-2 in favor of the Lightning. Up the near side wall. Looking. Tango had nowhere to go with it. Dropped it into the corner. And Tampa Bay does not want to be playing the puck here around the wall. Richards shot. Save. Rebound. Score! Ruslan Fedotenko!
Oh, the ever valuable first goal, and it goes to Tampa. Brad Richards again with an incredible decision at the point. Here he is. He just wants to create a rebound or a deflection. He got the rebound right out to Fedotenko. Bang, Tampa scored.
The reason there was a rebound is because the original shot didn't go to Kaprizov cleanly. It was deflected.
And when it was deflected, all he could do was make the save and not control the rebound. Fedotenko got away from Regeer, 1-0.
An unbelievable playoff year for Ruslan Fedotenko and Javi Bulaneta ripped that one wide.
That bounced and almost went in.
Wow. 1-0 lead. Tampa Bay. Fedotenko picks up the power play goal. He's got 11 goals. 5 of them have come on the power play this playoff year. Cleared back deeper. Where to go? It went up over the dasher and out. Will the first goal decide the winner again? Tampa Bay's got it.
And another shot before the game to block the nerve to help him with that injured ankle. There's not a bone that's been broken, but it's a sprain.
Intercepted. Richards drops it down low. St. Louis coming back. Tampa Bay with a power play goal. Boyle hit the post. Boyle hit the post. It would have been 2-0. Yale will move it in. Yale coming with Matador. Had to go back to get the puck. Yale will drop it into the corner. Simon trying to center it. That one blocked right back to him. St. Louis over to get it. Yale came in to help. St. Louis knocked it away. Yale will pick it back up. The goal at 13:31. Fedotenko from Richards and Modine. The second of this series for Fedotenko. More importantly, the 11th of the playoff year for Ruslan Fedotenko. Boyle's got to be behind his own net. Tampa Bay has now had a power play goal in 12 of the last 13 games. And this series, 46% of the goals have come off the power play, second most ever.
And Gary, that Boyle hitting the goalpost again, that was Richards' line on the ice. That's how hot they are.
They will see more ice time with John Tortorella, as with Daryl Sutter. They watch for that. Fanned on, once, twice, in. Javi Bulan covers. Ottawa, 2 chances down low.
That might be Olawa's first or second shift of the game, and he makes something happen. And it almost paid off.
Boyle leads all defensemen in scoring this year in the playoffs with 10 points, 2 goals and 8 assists. Pratt cleared it around. Fedotenko tried to get a good knot. Taylor does, and flips that one out of the zone. Ference tipped away to center. Neimanen's on the near side, cuts back to the middle. A pass to him gets blocked. Neimanen gave chase, couldn't get to it in time. Cleared out of the zone. Corey Sarich right back the other way. Tampa Bay keeping their 2D back. Sarich on the near side. Shots are 5-2 in favor of the Lightning. Only 2 shots here for Calgary with 4:14 to go in the period. Brett Warren is going to chase this one down into the corner, icing. Fedotenko now has 11 goals and 2 assists this year.
Gary told me this morning, I said, is anybody watching in Kiev in the Ukraine? He said, before the conference finals, a man gave my dad a satellite dish. His dad, Victor, his mom, Nina, his 4-year-old brother, David. It's 4 a.m. in Kiev. They were just able to watch Ruslan score a goal in the Stanley Cup Finals in Game 7.
Not a great story. You think they've sat down yet? I have a feeling they're still jumping around the room.
That kid, Fedotenko, left home early, too. So for him to have something like this happen for his family is great. He went to Saskatchewan, actually Finland, and then the province of Saskatchewan to play.
Lecavalier is giving chase into the corner. Lecavalier on the touch and then gut touch. Puck loose. Stillman came in to get it. Comes around the near side. Moved up off the glass and out. A little retaliatory hit by Lecavalier on Andrew Ference behind the play. Ference back. They get a free out here. Would have been offside. Lecavalier just getting out of the zone. Boyle tried to touch it. Could not. Cullimore back to get it. Cullimore has been magnificent in this series. Coming back from an injury that had kept him out in a number of the playoff games, only his 11th playoff game this season.
That injury just above his thumb on his right wrist, and he has to wear a brace just to have strength on the hand.
Simon in a little rough stuff. Cleared back in. Boyle coming back. Boyle rammed it around the near side boards, deflected up to the point. Good play by Homer to get it out. They get an odd man chance. Dingman's alone in front. They drop it. Shot. Save. Rebound will be covered. I don't think Tampa Bay could believe that.
6 playoff game.
Brad a chance. Deflected wide. Boy, what a chance. Ended up being a 3-on-1 down low that time. Seabag just held on. They got a shot out of it, but no goal. Leopold putting the check on. Modine came in to pick the puck up, though. Modine along the wall. Regier all over him. Dumped back by Richards. St. Louis. Martin St. Louis taking down Leopold. Puck flipped up high up the wall, but not out. Calgary struggling to clear the zone here in this first period. They get it out off the bounce. There's African sends it in.
Guys, who's been real quiet for Calgary in the first period? That's right. Hardly said his name.
And I'm surprised.
Haven't seen him on the ice. I mean, he's out there, but I mean, touching the puck or involved in the play, not much at all. Andrew Barron stepped up. St. Louis a collision. Pratt a collision. Cleared through the middle, but not out of the zone. Rhett Warren. Warren a shot wide. Boy, there were 8 people in front of Javi Bulin that time. Hit put on by Niemanen. Niemanen battling St. Louis. Shots him. That was a save, I think, off Javi Bulin. Great chance for Zaprikin. Point chance comes wide off the near side. Andrew Ference. Modine feathers that one out.
It's Calgary's best shift in a while. Niemanen, Zaprikin.
And here comes Joel McGinley now for his shift.
Here's Andrew Ference with a puck. Ference will dump that one into the zone. Centering pass blocked to Shelton and trying to get it through Kubina. Ference playing a +4, the best plus-minus in this series for the Flames. Matador trying to dump it off. Had to play it himself. Jelena got it. Jelena into the middle. 2-on-2 the other way. Iginla leaves it. Heads to the net. Shot blocked. Iginla has it in his skates. Got kicked wide. Kubina played it up to the point. Not out. Sticks go flying on the ice. Jelena lost ears. Here's a chance for the odd man. Jelena grabs a stick off the bench. Centering pass right through the middle. Anderchuk couldn't redirect. There's Jelena going to stick off the bench. And there's his stick on the ice. That'll be set up, and that goes over the boards.
Dave Anderchuk playing in his 11th Game 7. Imagine that.
Nope. I played for 12 years. I still can't imagine.
I played for 10, never played in 1.
That's how tough it is to get here in this last man standing race for the cup that will be awarded here tonight. We'll have the ceremony, whichever team wins it, because it's a guarantee tonight. Lord Stanley's Cup will be on the ice. Cleared away. Leopold coming back. We're in the final 23 seconds of this Game 7, 13th ever in a Stanley Cup Finals, and the 3rd Game 7 in the last 4 years, and a penalty coming on Tampa Bay. Interference, Cullimore.
It's only 17.8 seconds to go in the period. This will be Calgary's first power play as Kerry Fraser makes the call.
Number 5, Tampa, interference on the pitch.
Well, that would be Jason Cullimore, and the significance of this is that Calgary's going to get the majority of this power play on a brand new sheet of ice to start the second period. When pucks lie flat.
Yeah. You can see the Clark going into forecheck was picked off. That's a good call. Do you think Calgary using 4 defensemen in that last long overtime game has hurt them? Ice time wise? Because I'll tell you, Tampa's defense looks fresh, and they use 6 all game long. Calgary only used 4, and at times they've looked disorganized in their own zone.
The jump has certainly been in that department for Tampa Bay. And the penalty on Cullimore at 19:42 to end the period. It'll be a power play for another minute 42, but the only goal. The Tampa Bay fans on their feet. Second period, Lightning have a 1-0 lead.
And I am shocked and surprised. I said in our open that Jerome McGinley would play like a raging bull. That's what I expected. Now his challenge is to find the switch. He does not have a shot since the second period of the last game.
Well, he has a chance here as Calgary starts in the power play, but McGinley's played against Sador and Kubina every shift at even strength. There's some thought, guys, from the Calgary camp that since he and Sador are good friends from their junior days, that maybe he hasn't played as nasty and mean as he normally does against somebody that he knows. I don't know if that's true, but that's a thought.
I find that hard to believe of him because he is such a strong and ferocious player. There he is right there. Again, taken away by Sador.
The other thing, too, Gary, is that he's such a sweet human being.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That might be some truth to it. I know this. He's got to get it going. Calgary is going to see the Stanley Cup presented to the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight.
This is a power play continuing the second of the game for Calgary. A minute left to go in the power play to start the second period. They can't get it into the zone. Knocked away again. Conroy will leave the ice. Calgary will get a new unit out there. Sarich and Pratt back on D, knocked it away. Flipped back in. Cleared around the boards. Iginla's on the near side. Pratt got it away. Yell will hold it in. They get it lined up. Power play. 1-0 lead. Tampa Bay. Corey Sarich on the intercept. Yell fell down. And an easy out.
Yell may have been tripped up by Dave Andreychuk.
Dave Andreychuk with that long reach can do that. You don't even see him. All you see is his stick. Yell moves it in. Iginla's still out there on the power play. Taylor dropped it back in behind the net. Simon came back to get it. Pratt on him. Yell in to help. Kavina with the hit on. Taylor can't get it. Held in. Shot from the point. Deflected near side wide. And Stillman clears.
You know, one of the big difference on the two teams with their power plays is that Brad Richards from the blue line gets the shot on goal. Calgary hasn't been able to do that, even though they haven't had many attempts yet.
And no shots on this power play. For Calgary, it's over. They are 0 for 2 in the power play. They only have 3 shots in the game.
Perfect sheet of ice wasted right there.
They got outshot 6-3 in the first period. Not many shots at all. Shot Matador. That one got blocked to Cavalier. Cleared back deeper to Matador. Just underway, second period, the 13th ever Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Shot knocked away as Nielsen dumped it inside of the net. Zaprikin behind it. Back, Nielsen had a little room. Save made. Pellemore, 3-on-3 with Cavalier. Tampa Bay wants a change. He'll send it in. In that first period, only 3 shots up and only 2 forwards got shots for Calgary. Dangerous out from around the net. Move back to the near side. Matador had it stripped of the puck by St. Louis. Richards, St. Louis keeping the pressure on. Dumped in off the glass and into the photographer's booth.
Well, remember Game 6, there was a goal at one point that looked like it had crossed the line, but it never counted. The NHL ruled that it didn't go in. That was the shot that we had. Our guys worked very hard on this computer animation to see if we could look at it from a different angle. Not scientific, and they made certain assumptions, including the height of the puck. But the computer animation that we generated with the only information we had shows the NHL absolutely made the right call. There's no way they could conclusively say it was over the line. I personally stand corrected. I said it was in, that it looked like it was in.
We all did, but the NHL was adamant in their replay look. The entire puck has to be over the goal line. I have a brother that's a big Calgary fan. He says, I think it was in. I said, what? He says, I think it was in. I said, you think or you know? He said, I think. There's your answer. It has to be conclusive.
Yep.
Thinking isn't going to do it.
We should have just called your brother instead of doing the computer animation.
We could have a lot of rage in Calgary. Could have been settled early if we didn't have your brother's telephone number. Cleared around to Boyle on the far side. Lowry intercepted. Did not move it out. Looking to the front of the net. Clark tried to redirect. Pellemore tied him up. Batted at by Clark. Couldn't get a shot off. Regeer able to hold it in. This is not a power play. 2 in front. Shot. Happy Bull and Lowry doing battle. Calgary's clearly decided to put some traffic in front, as they are having 2 people in front of Happy Bull.
You know, Regeer wanted to shoot from the point. He wanted to shoot. Marty St. Louis was so well positioned for the block. Regeer just dumped it into the corner.
But that was Calgary's work ethic. Back where it should be. It has to be elevated or they have no chance.
Boy, there was a hit. Jelena went through near side of Modine. Unfortunately for both of them,
until in 2001 he went to Tempe, Arizona and really started working hard at that athlete's performance twice a day, guys, and he loves it, and he's in great shape now.
And Kiprusoff's the man who's put up the new record for minutes played by a goaltender in the finals. No one's ever played more minutes in a Stanley Cup year than Kiprusoff has at the other end. So he's had to be in great shape. Again, able to move it out. Drops it off for Jelena and heads to the net. Jelena shot high. He wanted that down.
Rubina blocked it. He deflected it over the net.
So there was no chance for Iginla. See, Iginla's all over the ice now. There he is on Taylor. He is trying to turn that button on. Shot. Hit from behind. And a penalty coming.
The referee at center ice, Bill McCreary, called it, not the referee that was down about 5 feet away from the hit. That's Kerry Fraser. He didn't call it. Now he looks up at Bill McCreary and says, good call.
2 veterans.
That was a hit from behind. Right dead on the numbers.
23, 2 for Gordon.
Boy, that's a bad
That's
penalty.
a bad penalty, I think, too.
That's McGinley's clean hit, but then when Sador was facing the wall, yeah, when you see both numbers, you got to let up.
See where Sador is? He's about 4 feet from the board.
It's going to be that great. He's going to fall on the puck. The downside is you've got a chance to end up in the penalty box.
Richards won it and able to hold it into Boyle. Shot deflected into the corner. Broken stick. Clark blocked it. There he is diving on the ice, trying to get it out of there. Could not. In front. Stillman wide. Richards over to get it. Jelena boarding at 4:16.
Two guys with no sticks.
Now two guys without a stick as Clark tries to get his away. What a chance for Tampa Bay. Looking into the middle. Fedotenko's got the goal. Couldn't handle it. Rolls wide. Right into Fedotenko. Richards trying to hold it in. Clears it out.
Wow. Boy, that is bending without breaking right there. Ference with no stick.
That
Clark
one
with no
missed by
stick.
Richards, and Stillman coming back on the touch. That avoids the icing. It's cleared up and out of the zone.
Boyle missed the pass. He passed. It would have been a breakaway, and it didn't work. Boyle looked up in the ceiling. Couldn't believe his pass missed.
Here's the power play chance with 1:05 left to go. 7 power play goals for Tampa Bay in this series. They were 1 for 2. Coming into this power play, knocked away. Fedotenko could not get it, and it's cleared out by Nieminen. Power plays, as we've said, have mattered a ton. We're approaching the 49% mark on the number of goals, percentage of goals scored on the power play in this series. Second highest ever. And Tampa Bay's had the greatest advantage in that regard. Shot in by St. Louis. Lecavalier over to get it. Could not held in. St. Louis cutting to the net. Lecavalier gets it. Back up on top. They're chasing it here. Fedotenko off the near side. Richards rather off the near side. Here's Kubina to the middle. Brad Richards. Richards had it bounce off the boards. Couldn't handle it. And it's cleared up. Kubina coming back to get it. 14 left on the power play. Tampa Bay has got the 1-0 lead. Lecavalier dished it off. Held in. St. Louis. That one may have gone off the pad. Directed in front. Anderchuk couldn't get a stick on it. St. Louis helped hold it in to Corey Sarich. Bounced up in the air. The penalty is over. No shots. There's Jelena, who just came out of the box.
Won everything he's ever played. Well, I said, have you won everything you've ever played? He said, well, one time in midget hockey when I was 15, we didn't win. but he's won everything.
And then the other side is Dave Anderchuk. I asked him this morning, the last time he won a championship, he said never. I said, what about in minor hockey? He said never.
Matador gets it at the point. Guns it back into the corner. Looking out in front. Simon tried to redirect. Went back to Tony Lippman at the point, but he can't hold it in. He'll be chased back the other way. Seabach back out there. That fourth line for Tampa Bay. Yell holds the line to keep it on side. Zaprikin gets around Dingman. Goes back to the point or tried to Matador. Matador sliding D goes by. That was Dingman who went by him. That one bounced in front. Never got through. Seabach picks it up. Seabach will move it and send it in, and they'll change.
And it's not just one guy blocking a shot for Tampa Bay. It's layers, isn't it? Layer after layer of shot blockers.
We've said throughout this series, in this playoff year, there's no team in the National Hockey League that does a better job of blocking shots. Up ice, Fedosenkov. He takes the hit, left the puck. Kovacic came over to get it. Fedosenkov has not had a point in the last 13 games. Number 29 out there for Tampa Bay. He goes to the boards against Matador. Taylor came in, and that will be whistled. Tampa Bay leading at 1-0, game 7.
Guys, we've seen Corey Sarich play well in the playoffs. He trains during the offseason up in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Every morning during the offseason with Scott Stevens. And that's a pretty good guy to work out with. Scott Stevens, a great defenseman with New Jersey, former or future Hall of Famer for sure.
Cleared back the near side. Calgary Flames able to control that drop. Pratt gets it back at center, and that'll end up over the glass.
Lost his battle with cancer. And Marty St. Louis has dedicated anything that he accomplishes in the playoffs to the memory of his good friend Frederic Seguin, who died when the playoffs began. And like most people do, Marty St. Louis said, why did that happen to him when so many good things have happened to me this season?
He's 32 minutes and 3 seconds away of playing time. They're winning the big one here.
All the players talked today about playing for others, their families. A lot of them talked about their moms and dads who took them around to the different ice rinks as they was growing up as kids, uncles, grandparents, friends who they grew up with. Many of them are here. Shot deflected. Rhett Warner had the opportunity. As the players realize there are so many others who share in the joy of the wins that they get, and in just the fact they've achieved so much to get here. In the corner, St. Louis was doing battle over there. Modine trying to knock it away. Came back to Corey Sarich. Sarich gets it over to Pratt. A 1-0 lead. The Lightning have the advantage. There you see the shots. Only 2 in the period. And the Calgary Flames have them both. but they're still down 1-0. Big battle side of the net. Richards came back. Modine stole it. Out in front. Knocked away Warner. Rhett Warner one-arms that one to Clark.
Good play.
Clark will move it back. Clark trying to dump it in on net. They are not getting the shots on net, and they're not getting the dump-ins in the corners. Richards knocked it away. Sador got it back into the middle of Stillman, and he clears. Regeer will come back to get it. Regeer back in his own zone. Regeer trying to knock it out of there. Richards did back to Sador. Keep in mind that we have not had a lead change in this entire series. It's one of the many streaks that's continued, including the one where the first team to score wins. LeCavalier, backhander, in front, lost. Rebound over to Jelena. Jelena just wants a clear. He had to ice that one. Maybe. Coming back, Iginla. No icing. Iginla got there first. Iginla goes down on the ice. Dave Anderchuk taken by Afanasenkov. He takes the hit. Puck rolls free, and Tampa Bay avoids a chance right there that Calgary had. Offside by a mile. Get that lead. Teams will try and protect it. Face-off is one back. Richards got it back to Modine. Modine coming around the near side boards. Had to drop that one back. Richards has got it. Richards looking. Modine! And Andrew Ference may have taken him down. No call. Ference put his stick and arm up as though to say, not me, not me. Up the near side. St. Louis trying to center. Simon got it up to Zaprikin. Here's the man who can fly. Turn the Jets on. Break it in. He backs everybody up in front of him. Good play made by Boyle. Collision behind the net. Zaprikin and Boyle still at it. Kicked away by Modine to Richards. And Richards will start it out. Here's a chance for a 3-on-2, but Tampa Bay wants a change. St. Louis instead will dump that one in. A 1-0 lead still on the board. Fedotenko at 13:31 of the first period. From Richards and Modine, a power play goal. It is the only one on the board, and that's a whistle for the draw. One by Tampa Bay, and they clear it up. Face-off in this series have been in favor of Tampa Bay, 52%. That went off the blocker to the near side on the dumping off the goalie that time, and it'll be turned back in behind the net. Afanasenkov got it in. They're looking into the middle. There's Nielsen. Jerome Iginla will be a trailer on the right side. Taylor, Iginla. And knocked behind the net, Boyle. And Afanasenkov trying to clear when against the wall. Taylor over to help. Taylor the flip. Got it out of there. We've seen both of these teams flip that puck out of the zone as much as we've seen in any series, playoff series, probably ever. They both like to do it to try and get things going. Jelena takes the hit. He got ridden out of the play over there by Anderchuk, who's still bumping. Afanasenkov against the boards. Ference behind him. Now it's underneath Anderchuk.
Tim Taylor has no stick.
He's a good card player, though.
Simon trying to get set up in front. Goes behind the net. Tried to dump it into the middle. Everybody falling down. 3 on the ice. 3-on-2. Yell trying to get back. Richards. Dave Anderchuk. Anderchuk with Regeer on him. Left it. Corey Sarich off the outside of the net. Modine wanted to wrap it around. Couldn't get a handle on it. Zaprikin went flying by him. Into the middle. Stolen. St. Louis. Ooh, did he take a hit? He and Zaprikin collided. Shot by Pratt. He didn't get it. Went off the heel of the stick. Yell clears. And it'll roll wide of the net. Flurry of activity for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but no shots registered. Calgary hangs in there. St. Louis got hit. Man, did he get nailed. He reached for the puck and kaboom.
Nolan Pratt without the lid.
What's St. Louis reach? Zaprikin with a forearm shiver.
That's dangerous when you're falling into it. He just lost control reaching for the puck. When you fall into a hit, boom.
He's resilient, isn't he? Talking about St. Louis, how many times do you think he's been hit per game in these games? And there's Zaprikin. He's not. What a great skater he is. His dad was Zaprikin's father was a backup goaltender for the Red Army team behind Tretiak.
Zador's shot deflected in on net. LeCavalier had the chance. Eddie LeCavalier had a rebound opportunity. Keprasov stayed right down though and blocked any alley. Cleared back up Sador. Off the wide side a look. Deflected by LeCavalier but not on net. Eddie LeCavalier with another chance, and again, Calgary's forced to ice it, and this is happening with Iginla on the ice.
As defensive-minded as this game is, John Tortorella's motto is attack, attack. Tampa Bay's not laying back. They're trying to attack.
Yep. Jelena looking near side. Clark couldn't get it. Here's another one of those mixed lines. Back into the middle. St. Louis shot! Yeah, save and covered. St. Louis up. Keprasov with it. It's his second in scoring this playoff year. He had led much of the time. Calgary gets it back out of the zone. The shots in the game are 9-6 in favor of the Lightning. Fedosenkov dumped it away, picked up by Sador.
Now Iginla's on with a different center. It's Yell. Last time it was Nilsson. Before that it was Conroy.
Trying everybody. Taylor knocked it away. Looking the captain into the corner. Anderchuk. Dave Anderchuk blocked it near side of Fedosenkov. They're back into the corner. Taylor looking for it. Taylor got tied up. Poke checked away. Knocked away into the corner by Warner. There goes the helmet off Taylor. Off the stick to Shelina on the far side. And Shelina trying to just get it out of the zone. They had Iginla cutting, but he couldn't get to it. Tampa Bay wants a line change. Fedosenkov will send it in. 5:44 to go. Second period. Game 7. Iginla still out there. That will be touched up for the icing.
From the Hockey Hall of Fame, Lord Stanley's Cup. That's in that one. The Conn Smythe's in the top one that goes to the MVP of the playoffs.
Team that wins the Stanley Cup, the players can have it for a day each. It goes all over the world during the off season.
So, will it be Tampa Bay or Calgary? MVP for the Conn Smythe?
Well, I think we're all in agreement that whoever wins this game will end up having the player on his team, Brad Richards, for Tampa Bay. If they win this game,
You guys agree he'll win?
Home again if Calgary wins. Yeah, home again has not done much.
No, he hasn't. I agree with that.
The goaltenders haven't been overworked either.
No. LeCavalier spinning. LeCavalier looking. Trying to drop it off. Brings it in himself. Left it in the middle. Shot. Score! He's got another one! Fedotenko! Maybe we better change our minds.
You know what, guys?
Fedotenko 17 up high. He's waiting for the puck, but he's got to get the puck. Oh, brilliant play by LeCavalier.
Vincent LeCavalier has been real quiet the last 3 games, but he danced into the middle of 4 Calgary Flames and still visually picked up out of the corner of his eye. Fedotenko, what a pass.
Oh, it's beautiful. Great shot. The puck actually ricocheted off the left arm of Kiprusoff and into the net. Fedotenko's got a lethal shot, but LeCavalier, that was his best shift in 3 games.
It is a 2-0 lead. Simon, glove, Kavinola. Fedotenko has scored both goals. 1 even, 1 power play.
Oh, man, Vinny LeCavalier, he was moving back and forth and around and around and around. Nobody could catch him. Look at this.
He was completely surrounded here, and he still saw Fedotenko. Boy, did he get cleaned out, too.
I never realized that until we saw the replay. He got hammered in making the play. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. 24 years of age. Gorgeous play.
Fedotenko's heavier now than he was in the first period because he's got 6 stitches in his eyebrow.
Fedotenko becomes just the 8th player in Stanley Cup history to have 2 goals in a Game 7 of the finals. Cleared back up to the point. Iginla's out there. Now Iginla's just got to dig. And maybe too hard. Tavino to Modine. You know Iginla's got to be feeling right now, I've got to do it. To the point. They had a 3-on-2. Kavina shot. Kiprusoff with a glove. Fedotenko from LeCavalier and Stillman at 14:38. His 3rd of this series, his 12th goal of this playoff year. Into the corner. Ferentz had it between the legs on the pass up the boards. Kovacic will bring it out. The Tampa Bay Lightning, their 12th year of existence. First time they've ever made it to the finals. The Calgary Flames have won the Stanley Cup once back in '89. They've been to the finals 3 times. Cleared ahead by St. Louis Block. Brett Warner will tip it back in. Corey Sarge. Kovacic bumps it. Brad. You will now see Calgary ratchet up the play. This will be brought to the other end for a faceoff.
Tampa's counterattack game is starting to look better and better. And if Calgary continues to press, which they're going to have to, Tampa's going to counter even more and better.
Colomar's got it. Colomar dumps it back in behind the net for LeCavalier. He and Leopold collide. Centering pass for Stillman. Taken by Zubrikin. Clark's breaking up ice. Pass to him. There's Clark, 17, trying to run it in. Boyle. Leopold got back to hold it in. Backhander. Bounced off Clark off the dasher. Clark sent it into the corner. Over to get it Nielsen. Back for Clark. Boyle put the hit on. It's right now for the Calgary Flames to get this thing to a 1-goal game with 3:30 to go in the second period of this 13th ever Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Sent in for Boyle. Boyle spun, taken down Zubrikin. Clark picks it up. Blocked into the corner, Seabox. Zubrikin. Nielsen couldn't connect. Matador takes the shot. Blocked into the corner. Fedotenko blocked it. Prigan goes back out onto the point. And into the corner. That's Iginla who got tied up. Iginla jammed at over there. Puck still loose. Boyle trying to pick it up. Could not. Conroy turns it to the point. Iginla's in front. Deflected wide. I don't know if he got a hold of it, but it went wide of the net. Iginla got in front to get a screen and try and redirect. Matador holds it in. Iginla again coming back. Iginla, St. Louis, both MVP candidates, 2 of the 3 finalists for regular season play. Matador driven out of there finally on the near side by Ben Clymer. Seabach in. Seabach down the wall. Ledman got a piece of him and held him up. Iginla's still out there. 2-0 lead. The Lightning on top. Trying to win their first Stanley Cup ever. Sador, they will have won 2 in a row. They've got to do that, obviously. Claim the puck. Warren dumps it off the far side. Jelena will send it in high off the glass. And even then let it go by. Yell. Put it right through the paint. Down low. Jelena trying to wind up and get a shot off. Could not. Rhett Warner. They are really getting folks. Calgary is getting folks in front of that net.
If they could only get the puck there with them, and that is the challenge against Tampa Bay, isn't it?
Can't get it to them.
Tampa's been brilliant defensively. Absolutely brilliant.
Minute 46 to go in the period. Down the middle, Kovacic tied up by Pratt. Just swinging around. St. Louis leaves it. Modine will bring it in. Tampa Bay changing. Modine by himself. Taken out by Warner. Earl Sador came back to get it. Sador will dump that one in. They had not cleared the zone.
John Tortorella said, listen, it's the team that makes the big plays that's going to win this thing. Who made the big plays?
Right now, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Richards got dumped on that faceoff. Gets back up very slowly. Stayed out on the ice, though. Moved back up by St. Louis. Will flip it in off the wall. Clark took him down. Penalty coming on Clark.
Wow, 1:14 to go in the second period. St. Louis just simply dumped the puck in. And Clark caught him with the stick.
He got chopped. I think St. Louis is in a little bit of pain right now.
18:46, time of the penalty. 4th power play for Tampa Bay. They have scored a power play goal. Calgary's 0 for 1 on the power play. That's something else they haven't made a mistake of. They've not put themselves in the penalty box.
And watch Iginla. He's on the ice again. He's dangerous shorthanded.
Fedotenko's out there looking for the hat trick. That'll be cleared in behind the net. Regier coming back to get it for Calgary. Touched it up. Oof, Fedotenko almost intercepted that. Moved out of the zone. We're under a minute to go here in the second period. There has never been a Game 7 final hat trick. Moved back in by Stillman. Fedotenko's got 2 goals, the 2 that are up there for Tampa Bay. Moved back into the middle. And good penalty killing work. Warner turns it off the boards.
You keep pulling those out. That's pretty good. I didn't know that.
Randy Andrejchu, our erstwhile statistician. All the years, ESPN ABC. That's where they come from, folks. Played to Cullimore. Cullimore had it knocked away to center. And much. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you. You're the hardest working people we know.
Yes.
2 months grind with smiles on their faces.
Unbelievable. Little sleep, 2 hours sometimes, flying all over the place. These guys are great. The third period, Game 7, the 13th ever in Stanley Cup Finals history. With Bill Clement and John Davidson, I'm Gary Thorne. Tampa Bay, if they can win one more period, will have their first Stanley Cup. But Calgary will have something to say about that in the third.
Tampa starts on the power play, and isn't it interesting, guys? Who usually plays the point on the power play for Tampa Bay? Richards.
Brad Richards.
He's playing up front right now. They have 2 defensemen because they have the lead.
There's Richards, backhands it in. Off the back of the net, Richards trying to get it. Cleared around the near side, but not up. Kubina held it in. Power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. This has been a source of power for this team this playoff year and here in these finals as well. They have picked up a power play goal tonight, their 4th power play chance here. Sent in, Andrew Ference coming back to get it. And it's over, and no shots on that power play as it concludes. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 17 combined shots through 2 periods is the fewest in any finals game in the expansion era. That's what we've had in this game. 17 combined shots. Yikes.
Tampa Bay Lightning 20 minutes away from putting back-to-back wins together. Last time they did that, as that graphic showed, was a while back.
LeCavalier back on the ice, number 4, the centerman. And what a time to have his best game of the last 3. He came through in the second period with big plays for his hockey club.
Avi Bullen was able to knock that one away. LeCavalier bumped it out of the zone. He's got Stillman with him. He intercepted though and cleared back. Good defensive play. Helena got back to break that up. Tampa Bay making the line change. Calgary as well. Around the near side boards and out the center. Afanasenkov coming to get it. Not in time. Monador there. Afanasenkov moving in on it. The Tampa Bay Lightning. A 2-0 lead on goals by Fedotenko and Fedotenko. That's icing right there in the touch.
That was a good play by Javi Bullen to let it go over the net. He reached up for it with his glove and figured, you know what? I think this is icing. And that's a tough read from down there.
You know, we've talked about Javi Bullen all through the playoffs. His recommitment to conditioning. The big thing is his contract's up. And if Tampa Bay doesn't say, we want you back, they have to pay him $2 million to walk away. I'll guarantee you he'll be back. Especially the way he's played, yeah.
3 goaltenders have had Game 7 shutouts in the finals. Johnny Bauer, 64. Gup Wasley, 65. And Marty Brodeur in 2003. It is a 2-0 lead as we start the third period of this Game 7. Cleared up the near side boards. Corey Sarge saw the hit coming but bounced it away. Back into the zone. Sarge will knock it down. Brad Richards has been the leading Iceman throughout the playoffs for this Tampa Bay team, and he is again in this game. 16.5 minutes in the game.
See this little play, Marty St. Louis with a 2-0 lead, just chipped it into the corner. Instead of trying to make a nice play, he just made the safe play, and that's the right play.
Dubina able to hold that in. Richards in the corner against Regier. Calgary will get it back. Bad pass into the middle. St. Louis shot! Whoa! Off the glass. Richards a rebound chance, but he fanned on it. Back behind the net, Modine. Modine, Regier, St. Louis trying to jam it in. That next goal, they're in it. And Tampa Bay knows that. Afanasenkov went in behind the net. Ference pushed it away. Dave Anderchuk was out in front, couldn't get it to him. He'll come to the wall to play it. His shot through the top of the paint. McKinley going over. Sador held it in. Taylor back behind the net. Anderchuk wanted to drag that out in front, but the puck never got on the stick. Lowry, the veteran, clears it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tampa Bay is doing such a good job of forechecking. Calgary's got no rush at all. As a matter of fact, they're just bailing out by chipping the puck out of their zone for safety purposes.
Did you see the puck moving around there? Ginla skated all over the ice surface chasing the puck and never got to it. I mean,
he wasn't expected to be the man then. He absolutely is right now.
Dave Anderchuk won that face-off. It's cleared. Ference came back to get it. Conroy on the near side. Kovacic will dump that one in. Conroy has not had a point in the last 5 games, but all of Conroy's goals this playoff year have been on the road, and he's got 5 of them. Back for it is Andrew Ference. Ference dumps it wide. Calgary changing.
Gary, the other thing is Tampa Bay can use their 4 lines because their 4th line is good defensively. Daryl Sutter's got to use his horses.
Clymer shot that one wide of the net from the point, which makes it even harder to mount a comeback. Held back again. Clymer dumped it behind the net. Monador, Seabach tried to put a hit on, could not. Calgary able to move it out. Jelena dropped it. Had a line change on the other side. Almost opened it up for Kovacic. Simon dumps it back in behind the net. Corey Sarge jammed it up to the point. Lidman shot. That'll go off the glass behind the net. Pratt over there. Pratt, Seabach. Cleared back up to the point. Not out. Shot in. Again wide. Rebound coming off the near side wall. And Corey Sarge clears. And an icing, and combined more points than any Stanley Cup champion has ever had to get through. Well, they're down 2-0 here in the third period. Anderchuk cutting to the net. Just deflected, knocked away. Held in, and a Sankoff shot blocked easily by Kiprasov. Taken back in behind the net by Lidman. Tony Lidman playing in his 6th game. Coming off the injured to get out there and play. Jelena dumped that one in. Jelena giving chase, trying to get through Pellamore. Knocked away Boyle to Taylor. Came back in front. Boyle's got it. 3-on-2 chance the other way. Nope. 3-on-3. Into the corner. Afanasenkov to Anderchuk. Anderchuk back to the point. Turnaround by Boyle into the corner. Leopold taken away. Number 17, Fedotenko's the man out there for Tampa Bay.
Ethan McKendrick's here.
Sador, a chance. Deflected into the middle again. And played out by Billy Neiman. At far side, Ginla was out there. Ginla with it. Hit by Stillman. Trying to control the puck. Stillman took it away. They're just not giving him any room. LeCavalier, Regier on him. Cavalier down on the ice. Leopold came in, lost control of it. Fedotenko, wow, he's everywhere. LeCavalier, St. Louis, Fedotenko, LeCavalier, backhander, Kiprasov. Cup winners in Dingman, Pratt, Sador, and Taylor. Previously, each of them has won a cup. Dingman and Pratt in Colorado, Sador in Dallas in '99, Taylor in Detroit in '97.
I think it's safe to say that with the exception of Daryl Sador, none of those players you mentioned played as big a role on their past teams that won as they have in this one.
Absolutely.
Another story is Brad Lukowicz, the defenseman not dressed in this game. He was part of Dallas when they won a cup. He didn't play a game in the finals, so he didn't get his name on the cup. Well, he's played 4 games in this finals. If they win, his name will go on.
Cleared around the far side. Big hit by Nielsen to free that puck out, but the pass got blocked into the middle. And Louis moves it up, gives it the flip, trying to avoid any icing did.
Yeah, Gary, you mentioned if Calgary can get 1 goal here, obviously the big adrenaline rush, they have to force Tampa into a retreat mode. And Tampa's not retreated at all yet. They're still in their attack mode, wanting to forecheck.
Skate forward. That's the name of their game. Climber's shot. That one broke his stick. That's why it didn't go anywhere. Ledman picks that one up and moves it out. We are in Game 7. The Lightning trying to win their first Stanley Cup ever. And
nothing in the NBA Finals.
And they're up 2-0 in Game 7.
And he did pretty well in the glass business in Michigan, too, by the way.
Yes, he did. Up the near side and out of there off Regier. I recognize that the man has a very small ego. He wears his press credential in the building. If there's one guy who doesn't need to wear his press credential in the building, it's the owner. And he does every game. Cleared off the far side wall wide of Javi Bull, and Pratt's got to come back to get it. Cleared it around the near side. Calgary can't hold that puck in.
Good play by LeCavalier to reach back with his skate to get it.
That one dumped in Fedotenko, and then he gets dumped by Andrew Ference, played by Yell. You can just feel the tension mounting here for Calgary as they hustle it up and down the ice, trying to find a way to get through.
Trying to get shots, Gary. They're averaging a shot every 7 minutes. That's it, and they've only had 1 shot since Tampa scored their 2nd goal, and that's now it's over 15 minutes of play.
Amazing, and there was another one of those point shots that didn't go anywhere.
Hey, guys, you're looking at head coach John Tortorella. He was playing in Roanoke. He blew his knee, and he didn't know what to do. And the owner said, you know what, maybe you should think about coaching. The owner's name was Henry Bravhern. He no longer owns the team, but that was 18 years ago. John Tortorella looks at Jim Schoenfeld, a former player and coach, John Muckler, a former coach and now general manager in Ottawa, along with Rick Dudley, as the 3 guys that really helped him in the National Hockey League to get where he is, and he is close right now.
Both of these coaches, of course, are candidates for the Coach of the Year award, the Adams Award. Held back in, down low. You know, on this Tampa Bay team right now, one of the things I would love to see happen is for Dave Anderchuk to get a goal. St. Louis moves to the middle. Blocked back up to the point and out to center. Down to 11:44 to go here in this 3rd period. With the Lightning on 2 goals by Ruslan Fedotenko, leading this game 2-0 in front of the largest crowd ever to see a hockey game here. 22,717. It is the 3rd time in this series that they have set a new mark here in Tampa Bay for attendance. Dumped. Blocked by Conroy. Cleared back up. Ledman's got it. He's open. Shot. That one did get through. Javi Bull knocked it away. Big collision. Saprykin King charging at a penalty.
I don't know if it's on Pratt or Saprykin.
He's pointing at Pratt. Interference.
Pratt can't believe it.
I thought Saprykin ran Pratt too.
Oh, you bet.
If Pratt hadn't stopped Saprykin, Javi Bull would be outdoors.
What a break for Calgary. If you're looking for a potential turning point, folks, this is it.
11:10 to go in the 3rd.
Watch to the right of Javi Bull, and here comes Saprykin. Bang! He nailed Pratt when Pratt didn't even see him coming. Watch Pratt smash, and Pratt, number 44 for Tampa, gets the gate. Gone to the sin bin. What a chance here for Calgary.
He was just trying to clear the puck.
10 to go in the 3rd. They need one bad.
Yeah, power play number 2. They didn't get a shot off the first one. Puck's sitting underneath here, will be whistled. Good play by Dave Anderchuk. He refused to let that puck come free.
He said, and we've mentioned it before, these big face-offs, I just don't want to lose it clean. I want at least a tie and have my teammates jump in.
Big moment here in this Stanley Cup Game 7.
This is big right here because Conroy's just gotten kicked out and Gelinas wins it cleanly. Look at that.
Got it back to Regier. Drops it off for Iginla. Power play Calgary. Iginla drives it into the corner. Blocked. Dave Anderchuk reaching in, gets pinned up against the wall. Still reaching for it. Shot, Gelinas, save, Javi Bull.
Play tricks on you.
That is the first shot of this period. First shot in about 16 minutes for the Calgary Flames on the power play. Conroy winds up. Shot. Score! We're not done yet. Conroy, a power play goal. It is 2-1.
Well, Calgary got a break because Pratt was given a penalty he didn't deserve. Calgary got the break, and you know what?
They took advantage of it. A shot from the blue line through traffic right over the shoulder, and they've gone nuts in Calgary.
Craig Conroy with a really good decision. Remember earlier we said, look, if you're not sure what to do with it, shoot it. Well, when you only had 8 shots on goal, you got to start shooting. Craig Conroy drifted this one. It tipped off somebody and up and over Hobby Bullen. Right decision by Conroy, and he ripped it.
Right through traffic. Right through traffic. Hobby Bullen tried to take as much net as he could by going into the butterfly. He didn't see it.
A bullseye from the blue line.
There's that shot of adrenaline we were talking about. They've got it. The fans here try and respond, and now Tampa Bay has to respond. LeCavalier centered it, shot, Stillman blocked into the corner. Fedotenko back for him. LeCavalier looking, turns it in, backhander, save made by Kiprasov. LeCavalier backhanded chance.
I think LeCavalier in the second half of this game has maybe been the best forward. Fedotenko scored, but LeCavalier is making it happen the second half of this game. Brilliant.
Martin shelling up. Man to watch for in these situations. Guy who's had some enormously important goals for the Calgary Flames. That'll be whistled in the offside.
And what's Tampa saying? It's in their locker room. Safe as death. Will they tighten up now or not?
Of a game 7 right here. Again, up to the point.
Entire Calgary bench standing up.
That got deflected into the corner as it hit Conroy. Near side shot, Jelena. That got blocked. Modine held back in by Regeer, but it goes up and over the... Tampa Bay has blocked 16 shots in this game, 8 for Calgary. Zaprikin, Boyle knocked it away, holds his arms up, say I haven't got him. Doesn't got his stick either. Comes back to Fedotenko, has got the 2 goals on the board for Tampa Bay. 8:49 remaining. A Game 7 classic here as Calgary answering the bell. Zaprikin, shot, save, Hobby Bullen. Great right pad save that time. Fluffed up to the point, not out. Andrew Ference trying to gut it in, blocked, shot again. Ference again blocked in front. Pellemore. Diving out LeCavalier.
What a play, huh?
Denis LeCavalier face first on the ice to get that puck out of the zone. But it's not going to be enough for Tampa Bay. They've got to play at the other end here. Right now, Calgary's got it all tilted. Pratt clears that one up. Taylor trying to get it out. Got tied up by Monador. Pushed away Andreychuk. Cleared into the zone of Fedosenkov. Right back out Lidman. Bounces back in Nieminen. Free out Calgary. Comes along the blue line to the near side. 14-10 the shots in favor of the Lightning. With a goal by Conroy here in the third has got Calgary right back in it. Turned by Corey Sarge, double team. Off the dasher far side, Nieminen reached in, Clark got it. Clark, poke checked away from him behind the net. Pratt, gloved down, Lidman still in the zone. And Tampa Bay battling to get it out of there, cannot do it. Great job by Calgary to hold it in. Corey Sarge finally just the flip. Lidman comes back to get it. Clock ticking. Stanley Cup in the house. Shot from center knocked away by Hobby Bullen. Had to make a save on that. Stanley Cup came in during the second period. It will be awarded here tonight. And that's going to be a 2-line pass.
Changes the defense. Daryl Sutter changes everything. He changes the forwards, defense, everything.
Regeer cleared that one out of the zone. Flipped up in the air by Sador. Not far enough to get it anywhere. Richards takes his man down. Into the corner, Lowry back for Kovacic behind him. Modine dumps it off the far wall. St. Louis cleared it out of there. Calgary gets it back. St. Louis knocked her down. Carries it in. St. Louis looking. Leaves it. Shot Modine high. Rebound comes all the way to center.
Good job by Jordan Leopold. He was down for the block and he forced the high shot. Look where the puck is now.
Kubina, both teams changing it up. Into the zone. Modine again. Modine battles along the wall. Went by the puck. Warner had him tied up. Back into the middle is Iginla. Iginla dumped it in. Conroy's back on the ice. Hobby Bullen. That's Conroy. Conroy takes him down. Hobby Bullen gets back up. It's cleared out of there by Kubina. He felt he had to ice it because his goaltender was down. Fedotenko doing battling. Wave it off. Great effort at the other end of the ice by Ruslan. Fedotenko. Back the other way is Jelena. Jelena for the Flames. Down the middle. Poke check. Rolls. But before it got to the goaltender. Up. Brett Warner stepped up. Brett Warner dumps it into the middle. Loose puck. Jelena. Jelena one-arms it. Ference in. Shot. Ference. Save. Hobby Bullen. Baby. Kicked it off the boards. Iginla out on the ice. LeCavalier and he collide. Iginla trying to hold it in for Calgary, and it's cleared.
Calgary defense in on the play all the time. That was some shot by Ference. Save of the game by Hobby Bullen.
Monador gets by Taylor. Cleared off the far side. They got a chance for a 2-on-1. Yell is in the middle. The shot got blocked before it got there. Deflects away to Pratt. Great charge, Saprikin.
Dan Boyle, great play.
Saprikin just flying. There he is again. Leaves it for Yell. Yell sends it. Saprikin still got legs. Batted at by Boyle. I mean, a 2-arm axe on that one. Simon sends it back in behind the net. Trying to clear it. Tampa Bay stepping up. Tony Lydman to hold it in. The dump to the net for Yell. Couldn't get to it. But a off will, and he'll send it out of the zone. And then got leveled along the boards by Simon. Tony Lydman back behind his own net. 5:11 to go. This is Game 7 to decide the 2004 Stanley Cup champion. The Lightning leading it by a score of 2-1. But they've seen their 2-goal lead become a precious 1. Shot, save, rebound, what a save! That may be the one! That may be the one! Leopold denied, rebound! Deflected in front, turn around Clark. Couldn't get a shot off. Richards can't get it out. Another save! Hobby Bullen on the turnaround chance by Leopold. 2 chances by Leopold and a whistle and a hand pass. But look at this.
Hobby Bullen, Hobby Bullen, Hobby Bullen. We said about 2 minutes ago he made the save of the game. That's better. On Leopold, the defenseman, we said they activate defense.
Oh, super extension. He got it with the blocker. And look at this play. Watch the man on the ice, Pavel Kubina. He just about had his face filleted open. Wow. By the skate of Jordan Leopold.
4:39 left to go. Kubina right back out there on the near side. Sent it in. Afanasenkov touched it, and it's a 2-liner. Face off at center.
You think Calgary's come on in the shot department a little bit, gentlemen?
They're out shooting the other team now.
They're out shooting themselves from the first 2 periods. They only had 7 shots. They got 8 in the third, and they're alive and well.
I wondered if Hobby Bullen was all right with his concentration. Then he allowed a goal, and now it's clicked in. I mean, it's like the Bullen wall is back.
8-4, the shots in favor of Calgary here in this third period of this Game 7. Lord Stanley's Cup awaiting the successful Suter. Kick back in. I didn't say Sutter, I said Suter. Hit in the corner again, Laurent Sador. Conroy trying to turn it up. Fans wanted to call, but you're not going to get one now unless it is really serious. Poke checked away. Sador will start it up. Moves it out of the zone. Afanasenkov bounces it off the wall. He'll chase it down himself. Afanasenkov into the corner. He has dug in here in this Game 7. Dave Anderchuk with it. Uses the body to protect. Line change behind him. Poke checked away. Tampa Bay's not going to crash anymore. Those D is staying back. They don't want to let Calgary get an odd man rush here with a 1-goal lead and 3:47 away from winning the Cup. Leopold back in his own end. Off the boards and out of there. Gloved ahead by Sarge. Yell reaching. Jelena drove it into the zone. Cleared around by Pratt. Look out here. Rhett Warner. Warner coming all the way in. Shot. Banged off a stick off Stillman at the side of the net. Hit put on Kovacic. Came right back to him. Corey Sarge on his back. Kovacic trying to drop it off. They're looking in the middle. Yell. Warner comes to Andrew Ference. Ference wants the man to go down. He wouldn't. Fine play. Stillman. He would not drop down to the ice, and he blocked the shot. Dug it out. Take a look at the place. Then he let Cavalier. Then he let Cavalier in. Le Cavalier shot. Save! Save! Kaprizov! And the net comes off at the other end.
What a move. What a save.
Most goaltenders would have been gone to the right to the goalpost. Vinny with the reach. Tried to pull a fantastic move off. A fancy move.
And Mika Kiprasov ends up doing his Gumby impression with the telescopic left leg. Look at the extension and the flexibility of Mika Kiprasov. Otherwise, this thing is salted away for Tampa Bay.
Fedotenko with a great pass. Vinny fought off the check. Went back to the other side. Kiprasov stayed with a 3:01 to go in the third. And still a 1-goal game.
Only 2 road teams have ever won a Stanley Cup Finals Game 7. 1945 Toronto, 1971 the Canadiens. Calgary's trying to do it here. Trying to get this thing tied up right now. Matador up for Simon. Near side wall. They bump it out of there. That's Clark up ice. Clark, Pellemore. Clark was underneath him, fortunately, on that hit. Cleared around by Boyle. And through everybody at center.
Oh, Lydman lost sight of it.
He didn't see it, but he slowed it down, so there wasn't any icing. That's Lydman right there. Tony Lydman goes to the middle. Kubina. Simon takes it back. Simon. Kubina stands him up into the zone. Sador. Sador around the wall. St. Louis trying to get there. Simon let it go. Held in by Regier. Good play by Leopold to help out along the blue line. Calgary needs that puck. They've got 2:16 left. Leopold shot. Save with Clark in front of him. These two goaltenders have been magnificent this playoff year. Each of the goals against under 2. Khabibulin 1-7-4. Kiprusoff 1-8-4. But there'll only be one winner. Knocked away Lowry at the line. Andreychuk cleared it up. Fedosenkov will send it in.
There's a good play. Really good play by Andreychuk to start it.
Taylor hit by Lowry. Taylor keeping it against the wall. Fedosenkov for Guerin is back. All those years as a kid, a player, you waited for this moment, and now you're down to a minute 41 to go. 2-1 lead. Lightning and Leopold again. Shot wide of the net. Again was out there on the ice. Andrew Ference backs it in towards the back of the net. Corey Sarich is there. Sarich clears. Calgary trying to change. Fedosenkov couldn't handle. Andrew Ference. Ference moves it in. Hard wrap around to the near side. Zaprikin stepping up. Here's Iginla. His shot. That got blocked by Corey Sarich. It'll be moved out. Tampa Bay still in net at the other end. The race. Richards turns. Shot. Kiprusoff letting go into the stick. Sador sends it back. Loose behind the net. What a hit. And a penalty. A penalty coming on that hit. And Richards going after Ference.
Marty St. Louis is the man that's down, and he looks like he's shaken up.
He'll take it, Bill.
Oh, you bet
He'll take it. It's 1:01 to go, and Calgary takes a penalty. And I'm telling you right now, Marty St. Louis took one for the team here.
I think it's a good call, JD. I know it's a minute and 2 seconds to go.
Cut right down the forehead.
I think you'd call it a charge. Andrew Ference hit him when his face was turned. We'll take a look at it. You tell me. Well, his stick got him in the face for one thing. You had to call that.
You know, you're right. Warner bumped him in, and boom.
Maybe if his stick doesn't clip him in the face, Carey Fraser has a choice, but I don't think Carey Fraser had a choice.
Look at Jarome Iginla. The 5th power play of the game. Andrew Ference charging 18:58. We are under a minute to go. The Tampa Bay Lightning less than 1 minute away from winning their first Stanley Cup. Kiprusoff lost it. Richards turning it back up. St. Louis shot wide. Rebound off the boards from behind. Calgary's going to do it short-handed. They'll try and get Kiprusoff out of there. They can't. That's offside. Saddledome. The Sea of Red in Calgary, still hoping. Almost 11 years to the day since a Canadian team last won the Cup, Montreal in '93. That one goes off the bench. Nope, they say off the glass.
Got to be a whistle there.
Yeah, I thought there would be two. Kiprusoff has to go back into the net. 29 seconds left to go.
They're just trying to ice the puck to get him out, and they can't ice it.
Can't get it through, and a penalty coming on Dave Andreychuk.
It was a trip, too.
He may have to watch his first Stanley Cup win from the penalty box.
He tripped him up. Well, Calgary was heading up ice with the puck, and he tripped him up.
Mika Kiprusoff is going to have to stay on the bench here, even if the faceoff is close to the Calgary blue line. Yeah, that's a must call, too, at this stage, especially after the last call. But with 22.1 seconds to go, Calgary has no choice but to keep Kiprusoff on the bench. You can't take 10 seconds to get him out.
22 seconds left to go. Richards wins the draw. Modine along the boards gets it in. Leopold tied him up. Kiprusoff is still in the net. 15 seconds left to go. Kiprusoff directing traffic's got to get out of there. He heads off. We're 4-on-4. Once he gets to the bench, Calgary will have the advantage. They do right now. Running out of time though. 4 seconds left. In front. Khabibulin. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the first Stanley Cup.
They will now shake hands in one of the great traditions of sports. After 7 games of brutal body beating.
Gary, they call it a winner and a loser. Both these teams, to me, played like, I mean, they didn't lose. They battled as hard as they could. Tampa was 1 goal better in Game 7. Congratulations to the Lightning. And congratulations to the Calgary Flames for being the team that came out of nowhere. As their GM said, the little team that could or can and did, and they were something else.
To me, you couldn't count the heroes on both of these teams if you had 5 hands. There were that many wonderful stories on both sides.
22 years Dave Andreychuk has waited for this moment.
He's 40 years of age. I was reading somewhere today where they said that he's older than most of the arenas in the entire National Hockey League. Isn't that something?
And Richards has got a shot at being the MVP. Andreychuk will be the first to handle the cup because he is the captain.
And Nikolai Khabibulin I think deserves votes for the Conn Smythe, and if he doesn't win it, he is certainly an unsung hero.
Let's get down to Aaron Andrews. Aaron,
All right, guys, thanks so much, Dave. You watch it from the penalty box. 22 years you've been waiting for this. Is the reality anything like the dream?
You know, it's I'm so proud of our guys. We worked all year long, and this is awesome. This is more than I ever expected. You can dream about it, but you can't really go through it, and it's been an unbelievable ride.
Your wife got you here. You get the Stanley Cup. What does she get out of this?
Well, I'll tell you what. She's been behind me the whole way. It's been awesome. My whole family's been here, and they deserve it.
Dave, congratulations.
Thank you.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player is Brad Richards.
Hey guys, when Brad Richards grew up, he idolized the great Joe Sakic. He said he learned to shoot the puck like Joe by watching Joe. There's a lot of Joe skating around right there right now with Brad Richards winning this thing.
First, let's congratulate the Calgary Flames on a great series and a great season, and their great fans. To win this trophy, it starts with ownership. And there's no finer owner in sports than Bill Davidson. This night is because of him. There are a lot of people in the organization to congratulate. You fans deserve congratulations for the great support you've given this team. But Dave Andreychuk has waited a long time for this trophy. I'm proud to present it, Dave, to you and your teammates. Well done. A great Stanley Cup run. Dave Andreychuk, come on up.
And Vinny had a quiet couple of games until he exploded halfway through this one. And did this young man at 24 years of age come through for his club? It's all part of being great. And how about Marty St. Louis? Probably the MVP during a regular season. What a job.
He's about 9 feet tall at this stage of his life.
this cup has 13 years of winners on each band, and one of the bands is coming off this year and gets retired. A new band will start. And this great, magnificent Lord Stanley's Cup you saw when Andreychuk took it, his teammates. There he is. There's Bill Davidson, the owner. Got a chance to have both the NHL Stanley Cup and the NBA trophy in the same year, as he is also the owner of the Pistons. What a moment. John Tortorella, the winning coach. Let's get out of Sam Ryan. Sam?
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Marty St. Louis, who took his bumps and bruises along the way in this series. Now, Marty, before this series began, you said no hard feelings against Calgary. It just didn't work out for you there. How sweet is this for you, though?
It's sweet, regardless of that I started in Calgary. It's just an awesome feeling. I mean, you fight for this for your career, and we finally get one, you know, for Dave, and all of us, we're very happy. And you have to take the hits at this time of the year. You can't retaliate.
Now, you downplayed your regular season success during the postseason, all about the team. How special is this team to you?
We're going to walk forever together. You know, no matter what happens from now on, we'll always walk forever together.
Okay, Marty, congratulations.
Thank you very much.